Hi, I'm Kenza, and I started a platform called Mind Over Meta, and it's essentially a platform where I'm interviewing different great entrepreneurs, and I'm trying to get more insights onto their failures, their successes, like how they turned into the entrepreneur they are today. And I'm also seeking advice for younger entrepreneurs who are thinking of pursuing business. So I'm just going to
Okay.
ask you a series of questions, and I'd love some answers that you think will also help and inspire younger entrepreneurs.
That's great. All right, so let's get into it. I would love to hear your questions.
So, firstly, can you tell me your name and your company?
Yeah, my name is Gregory Lowe. My company is 100 Coconuts. It's a coconut water company. Your father's involved in as well. Have you tried it?
Yeah, I have actually. It's so good. I
That's
actually
good.
did I brought a bunch of boxes of the 100 coconuts to an autism center here in Dubai, and I made them all try it. It was really cute and it was very wholesome.
Oh, that's nice. That's really
Yeah.
nice. I wish you would have got us some video of that. We would love to
I
share.
have some videos. I do, I think.
Oh, okay. Share.
Yeah,
Send them
I will.
over to me
Of
when you
course.
get a
Yeah, I
chance.
will. Okay, so I'm going to start with my questions now. So, firstly, what was the very first idea or project, if you can remember it, you tried, even if it completely failed?
My first venture that I
Yeah,
ever tried.
yeah. Even if it failed completely, whether it was recently or when you were younger or in your teens or in college.
Let's see. My first project that I tried. Wow, you're taking me way back.
Hmm.
Um, well, I didn't become an entrepreneur till late because I played sports. So I didn't try anything when I was younger. I mean, and they didn't fail. So I would say, I used to mow lawns and, cut people's grass for a little money, but they can't really fail. You just stop doing that, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
I was when I lived in LA, I had to be about 22 years old right out of college because I played sports throughout school. So right out of college, I actually I started a party promoting business.
No way.
Yeah. So we used to promote events and we actually got a few big accounts. We did some events for Elon Musk. We did some events for Kanye West, which was pretty cool. But we started to realize that it wasn't sustainable at all. Like
Yeah,
the amount of revenue that was coming in wasn't enough. It just wasn't a sustainable business. So we had to kind of pivot out of that business, and that was my first foray into failing, which I think you have to fail. You literally have to fail in order to get to the next level.
yeah, of course. So, what do you think that failure taught you? How do you think it helped you become who you are today?
Um, I think that failure made me see that, you know, really that failure isn't the end all be all. It actually isn't the
Yeah,
beginning of it all, right? And in the beginning, I thought that once you fail once, that's it. You're gonna you people are gonna look at you differently. You're gonna feel differently. But I also started to realize that that's not the case.
yeah. Failure is all about learning and improving yourself.
Can you repeat yourself one more time? I'm sorry.
I just said failure is all about learning and improving yourself just to be better. Of course, it's not the end of the
Yes.
world, which I'm sure not only students, people who are starting their businesses at first, of course, it's not always going to work out in your favor. And you just need to learn to be adaptable because that's all about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, adaptability is, I think, one of the prime pieces in being able to build a business
Yeah,
because it's
totally.
always going to change. It's always going to flip on its side. You have to understand, what the customer wants, and that takes time to analyze.
Of course.
I'm gonna jump on. Hold on, let me see if I can do this while I'm on the phone with you. I'm gonna jump on from my phone so I could move around a little bit here. Let me just 1 second because I don't see that call. Okay, it's not usually. Oh, there it is. Perfect. It showed up on my phone. Great. Okay, perfect. Let me jump off here. Okay, there we go. All right.
Okay. So this leads into my next question. So how did you arrive at what you're currently doing today? Like, how did it start? What sparked your ideas? How did you bring it together, essentially?
Yeah, so 100 Coconuts is, it started with when I was having my little boy, and his mother was worried about lactation, breastfeeding,
Yeah.
and we wanted to come up with something that would help her. And the doctor told her to drink coconut water. And coconut water, we was like, wow, that's like an amazing thing that coconut water can hydrate you that much to be able to breastfeed your child. But I hated coconut water. Like, it literally tastes horrible.
Me too. Honestly, I hated coconut water until I tried 100 coconuts, and it's the only coconut water that I can drink.
Yeah, me too. And it just tastes so bad. Like, the aftertaste was horrible. It was just a bad experience. So I was like, you know what, let me see if I could bring this new coconut water to the forefront. And that's what I did. And by doing that, I went to Vietnam. Actually, I worked in tech before this. So after my days as a party promoter, I actually went and worked for a company called MySpace. It might have been a little bit before your time, but um, it was a tech company, like a social media network. And and then I left there and I started to build mobile apps. So I built a number of
Wow.
different mobile applications. Yeah, so that was kind of my thing. So I built like music apps and emoji apps, and I worked with a number of famous people, um, and then it led me into building overseas, and that opportunity got me in front of people who knew about coconut water. And I went out to Vietnam and I found these amazing coconuts, and that's where it all started from.
Wow. And then what happened from there? How did you get the idea? Like how did it like start after that?
mm, well, I just went out to Vietnam. I'm sorry, I'm eating my gummy vitamins. um, you don't have to take vitamins yet. How old are you?
I'm 16.
Oh, okay, yeah. um, So I'm sorry. I feel like I'm smacking in your ear. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to go down on this elevator, and
Of
then
course.
I'll hold on. If I go out, I'll just dial right back in. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. It was
No worries, no worries.
cycling. Um, so how did I come up with the idea? Is that where we left off?
Yeah, like after you found the coconuts, what was your next step?
Yeah. So after I found the coconuts, I just brought them back. I wasn't really even thinking about starting a business. I brought
Hmm.
them back just for her to drink, and she ended up loving it.
Wow.
We kept, I kept bringing it over, and then her
Mhm.
friend said, "Man, you have to bring this to market. Like, this is amazing stuff." So I
It
said,
really
"Okay,
is.
well, yeah." Let me figure it out. Let me see how I can make this work. And I actually did an event. Well, actually, with that, let me hold on. It's switched over to my car. Let me make sure it stays on my earbud. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. I um so I came up with an idea right after I saw that maybe I should bring it to market, and I said, okay, well, I need a name. So at first I was going to name it White Label, and I was like, I don't know. White Label sounds kind of basic, right? So
Yeah.
then I thought about it, and I said, what were my thoughts when I first drank this coconut water? And I was like, man, this can't be real. Like, this is so
Yeah.
amazing. Like, and then I thought about it, and I was like, keep it real, keep it, 100, which is like kind of a vernacular, that
Yeah.
kind of like a slang that people use. So I was like, what if it was called 100 Coconuts? And then I just, went from there. So it kind of, being from tech, I started in UI, UX design. So it was all about, the appeal and making people be appealed to your product. So I had to figure out color schemes, etc. So that's where it all started. And, from there, we did an event in the Hamptons, like this white party with this singer named John Legend. And then from there, it was just like, how can we continue to grow this brand after we gain some success in the market?
Well, what I didn't know there was so much like depth behind this coconut water, but it was worth it because it's so good. Like everyone needs to try it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm excited for the world to really, have a try and see what we've built. I think, people are going to be really surprised when they taste it, as we are.
Yeah. Well, this leads into my next question. So, most people, especially people of the younger generation, normally only see like the highlights and the positive parts of business. So, what was one point, if there was one, in this particular business where you failed, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, yeah. There's always failures in
Of course.
businesses, and I can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah, there's always failures in business. And even
course.
in this building, I've failed a few times. And when I say failure, I think it's more like, you mess up and then you have to start all over from scratch because that idea didn't work. That's what failure means, not quitting, right? And so, earlier on, when I was building the company, I didn't realize how much capital it was going to take to grow the business and sustain, have product on cycle, produce on timely basis, etc. And those things, took a toll because now, you finally get your big grocery store and now they're blowing through product and you're like, oh my God, how can I manage this? How can
Yeah,
I sustain this?
so
Um,
it's good and bad. Like your product's setting out, but you need to keep producing more.
yeah, keep producing more. And that's what it was. It was like, how do I keep producing more without the money? So I was always going into my own pocket. So the first part of the failure, I would say, was, not realizing it earlier on, where I feel like maybe a year or two had went, or a year and a half, it definitely had went by where I felt like we could have had a lot more success if we had more product. So that was one. The next one came after, I was able to secure investors, et cetera. And one of I had a little falling out with a couple of US investors here, some celebrity. One of them was celebrity too, and it was a good friend of mine. And they wanted me to step down, and I call it a failure, but actually it was a win on my end. But they wanted me to step down and put someone else into place that
My God.
has water because they felt like I should be the chairman and, this person should come in and run it because they've had experience. And, they
Yeah.
really got upset with me, but I had to stand on my laurels to say
Or
what I wanted. Pardon me?
yeah,
What'd you say?
yeah, like of course, like it's your
Yeah.
company. Like you want to be the head of it.
Exactly. You want to see it through. You want
Yeah,
to have creative control, or why are you doing it? You're just working for somebody at that point.
yeah, yeah.
So I had to, and I would say it was a failure because, I was, this was only like last year, but I feel like I've learned so much beyond that. Cause I mean, after I said no, we were able to execute, great Disney programs, and we were able to do some really cool stuff and even become profitable for a bit earlier this year. And it helped me to gain confidence in myself. I think the failure in it was that I didn't have the wherewithal in order to speak with the investors in the way that they needed to be spoken to for me to be able to exude confidence that I knew exactly what I was going to be doing, right? Sometimes when we're building stuff, we can be making mistakes, but also making great decisions because we have no fear as to what the decision is going to do. Like a lot of times when people have already built something, they have a fear because they're like, oh, I can't do that, or I can't do that. And then they never really do the things that need to be done in order to take chances and take risk. Right. So like that was a plus for me because I was able to take a lot of chances. But I think it was a negative for me now that I've learned is that instead of me getting upset and kind of, not really handling it like a corporate CEO would, but more like I put too much passion into it, right? But
Yeah.
that was also a win for me because now I learned that there's ways to speak to people to make sure that they know they can't, it won't go that far. So that's I would say those are the wins and losses that I've had. All real, not really super failures yet, but
It's
definitely
a
things
failure that
that.
makes you learn. Like it made you feel proud of what you've like accomplished, like not wanting to give it up.
Yep, exactly. Like sometimes people really, like I talk to friends all the time and they really want somebody to come and step in. Please help me, and in my mind, I'm like, no, I got so much more to do. Like I'm rolling my sleeves up. Let's go. Like,
Yeah, yeah, like you're just getting started. Like you don't want to hand it
exactly.
over for someone else to like make it flourish and for someone else to do the work and like get the like
The
someone
accolades.
do the work and get credit for it when it's something
Yep.
you've been working on. Or
Exactly. That's what happens to people too. What happens is they end up letting the reins go, right before it's going to pop. And then the person who takes it over really didn't
gets
have
the
to do
credit.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they get the credit. So, it's that. And it's also, just being able to have confidence in yourself.
You're,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so important. And that leads me to my next question, which was um like what's a personal habit or mindset shift that like made a difference in what you've been doing or made a difference in what you've accomplished?
Oh man, I read this book called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and it changed my life
Me.
because yeah,
So
and
I
it was.
actually have like a book collection on my website. So if it's actually a great book, I'd for sure look at it and try and add it.
Yeah, read it. It's called The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. Like you're young, like when I was 16, maybe it might I think they will resonate with you, but when I was 16, it was a I didn't have as many experiences to be able to. Not that you haven't had experience. What I mean is like in certain settings, right? Like I know you probably had a relationship and all that. But like, I'm 40, so like I have a kid and all this type. So it's like, I've had those experiences. So for me, what it changed about me is to, you know, and it can help you out too. Like sometimes we put too much emphasis on what other people do. And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is like the way they treat us. Like if our friends, for instance, in the book, there's a antidote about how her friends went on a vacation without her and she felt left out and why didn't they invite me and we spend a lot of time on thinking about what other people think of us, what other people are thinking, etc., what they do. And the let them theory is like let them do what they're going to do. Like don't let it affect you. And it's hard because we always want to be like, oh, that doesn't affect me, but everything
Yeah,
affects us,
of
right?
course. But you
Yeah,
still need to understand that you need to focus on yourself because that's the only way you're gonna grow. And like you have to let other people do whatever they want and move however they want, and you just have to focus on being the best version of yourself.
exactly. And when I took that into account, I would like even with employees, like, let them decide what they're going to do, right? Let them,
Hmm.
right? But then let me decide how I'm going to respond to it instead of, you know, overreacting or letting it, fester, but let me decide, okay, is this something that I want to respond to? How do I want to respond to it now? But I can't change them and
Hmm.
that was a big effect. So I would definitely put it on my book. I mean, on my book list. It helped me out. I'm sure it will help a lot
Yeah,
of other
yeah, for
people out.
sure. I wrote it down. I'm for sure gonna check it out.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one.
So this almost wraps up our interview, but
Yeah.
my last two questions is who is someone from outside of the business world that has truly inspired you to push and keep going in what you're doing?
Somebody outside of the business world. To push.
Who
Does it
pushes
have
you
to
to be
be
better?
like
And
a real person or like
no, it can be no anyone who pushes you to
anyone?
be better.
Um, I would say Muhammad Ali. And the reason why I say, because he just comes in my head, is just, you know, the when you come up against trepidation and when you come up against impossible odds, you really have to really believe in yourself. I think people don't take into account how much belief you have to have in yourself in order to overcome the negative things and
Yeah.
odds that you're going to come up against. Like
Mhm.
self-confidence, I think, is one of the
The most
biggest.
important. Yeah, I
Yeah, it's one of the
agree.
key things in everything because if I have a saying that I say if you if you believe you can do it, or if you believe you can't do it, they're both right, right? So
Of
that's
course.
just how it is.
Mhm.
You're going to be that. So it's what it is.
Mhm. That makes a lot of sense. Like you just need to have confidence in yourself, and you need to know that whatever's meant to happen is going to happen in your favor.
Exactly. Man, this is a great interview. I've done a lot. This actually was really insightful for me. This was really nice. Good job.
Well, I have one last question, and that
Okay.
if you had to give some advice to someone, teenager, someone in uni, even adult that is thinking of starting their own venture, what would be the best one piece of advice you'd give to them that
I
you
would
would
tell,
when you started?
yeah, as this is going to be crazy and maybe not conventional advice, but I would say to just run fast and break things. Like just do it, right? So like you're
Try
not going to
everything.
believe. Yeah, yeah, just do it. And if stuff is not right, just keep trying to perfect it, but just do it. Like no matter what it is, even if you don't have experience, I say just do it because and a lot of times, like I said earlier, um, people with experience usually hinder themselves because they have too much experience that they think every situation is going to go the same way that it went
Yeah,
before. And that's not good because if you think that way, then you're not going to do certain things that you may
try
think not,
different things.
that may
Step
not
out of
work.
your zone. Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of times I've had success in my industries because, you know, I was new to the industry and I didn't know a ton about the industry. So when I came in, I was like, hey, I want to, instead of doing it this way, I'm going to do it this way.
Yeah.
And it worked. Yeah,
You just have to try everything until you see what works best for you. And even when you see what works best for you, you still need to go out and try new things because that's the only way to grow in the business industry.
exactly. Exactly.
Well,
Well,
thank you so
you're
much.
on the right track. Are you the youngest?
Yeah, I am.
Wow. Your mother and your father have done a great job raising you guys.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your story and all your insights about business and entrepreneurship. And I really, really enjoyed hearing about it, and it taught me so much. And your perspective will definitely inspire me. It inspired me, and will definitely inspire a lot of other students who hear about
Oh,
this.
thank you. Thank you. And thank you for calling me and putting me
Of
on this
course.
list. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.